6:02 p.m. May we please stand for the invocation provided by Vice Mayor Cowers Williams, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, gracious God, we thank you for tonight. We thank you for as we gather together as a commission. Father God, we thank you for how we're able to take care of the business of the city. Father God, we thank you for we putting the city first. And Father God, we're not having any personal agendas. Father God, we just thank you for continuing to bless our city. And God, that we're able to make decisions where we can agree to disagree and to respect each other. And Father God, we ask the same of the community. And Father God, we thank you for all these blessings in Jesus' name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Babb,
Present.
Vice Mayor Calvin Williams,
Present.
Commissioner McDonald,
Present.
Commissioner McPherson,
Present.
Commissioner Scott,
Present.
Interim City Manager, City Attorney, City Clerk is present.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Thank you, staff. And most importantly, thank our listening audience for being here today to participate and witness our deliberation of our commission meeting. At this time, Interim City Manager, do we have any additions on an emergency basis? Any deletions?
Mayor, what I do have, not so much of an emergency, but there are two items that I would like to add as far as the resolutions, and they're in reference to timelines that we're dealing with. I'm not sure if our city attorney got the resolutions earlier to review, but it's one where we have an opportunity to apply for some additional funds in the McClure Road reconstruction, and the deadline to apply for these grants will be March 25th, and that's the day after our March 24th meeting. So I was wanting to know if we could have a resolution done to approve those dates of that resolution because of the date that we're dealing with. And then the other one that I was asking to add was the vendor fee, where we could set a vendor fee for our vendors when we have events. And being that this is being asked is that we have our I Love Pahokee Day coming up on April the 4th, and then our 4th on the marina. And we're already having vendors reach out to us in reference to applying. So those are two things that I was asking if we could have added. Miss Boulay, she's running a little late, but she was coming in with the items for you all to review the resolution and the memo. So those are the two that I wanted.
Yes.
Normally what would happen is they would be sent to me and then I would review them and then they would come to you if they are emergency issues. So I haven't seen them. I'm happy to, take the time to look at them and comment during the meeting, but I just want it to be clear, nobody sent anything to me for my review.
Okay. And as I stated, maybe the mayor, the city attorney didn't get a chance to look at them. I did send them. They were late, earlier today. So if not, that's understandable. And again, the purpose is that we, when the community economic development director, did the research, and we were trying to get them to the attorney earlier in the week, but we were going over and over about another particular resolution. So whatever you all decide.
Yeah, and I didn't even get a call that there was anything pending. So anyway, I'm happy. We've never done this before. I'm happy to review. If it is an emergency, you all can. There are some specific things that you can do in terms of a vote. If it is truly an emergency and you deem it to be such, but I didn't get a call. I haven't reviewed anything. I don't know what is being referred to.
And just for comments, I think it's a needed item that need to be addressed if we can, but even the interim city manager indicated it's not classified as an emergency, so she's not using that term. So with that being said, are we still able to vote on addressing it with the understanding that during this meeting, you're taking a look at it as much as possible, at least give a opinion that it meets sufficient, so we don't vote on something that's maybe not legally upholding.
And if I may, I can read
Do we
more
have a copy of it? We
clarification.
can look at it?
Ms. Boulay Washington, she's coming with it. But if I may, I can read a more, clarifying explanation of why I'm asking for these two things to be added, if I may. That's okay. Okay, the first add-on that I'm requesting is, I'm asking for adding the resolution to tonight's agenda, authorizing the city to submit 4 applications to the FDOT Small County Outreach Program and municipalities. There are 3 key reasons for this request. First, the program provides an important opportunity for the city to secure state funding for critical roadway improvements. Second, the identified streets are heavily used by residents, are in need of resurfacing to improve driving conditions and accessibility. And third, authorizing the applications tonight ensures the city does not miss the upcoming submission timeline. This item supports the components typically associated with emergency action because improving deteriorating roadway conditions directly impacts the public safety, emergency vehicle access, and their overall life, health, and safety of residents. The resolution simply authorizes staff to submit the applications and establishes the city's priority order. Staff respectfully requests approval. And it's just only to add, just asking approval to apply for the for the grants, the funding. Okay, that's for the first one. And the second one I'll read, and hopefully Ms. Boulay will be here shortly. I'm respectfully requesting that the commission add the prepared resolution to tonight's agenda to establish a $50 event vendor fee for city-sponsored events. We have 2 major upcoming events, the I Love Pahokee Day and the 4th on the Marina, where vendors are already being contacted, and having this fee in place now will provide a clear and fair process for them to register. The resolution allows me as the interim city manager to waive the fee when it benefits nonprofits, youth programs, or other community groups. Acting tonight ensures we can ensure and secure vendors efficiently, avoid confusion, and maintain the high quality of these signature city events. And that's the other one.
Okay. We're actually gonna at least vote on our approval to have those 2 added with the condition that the city attorney can be able to, towards some part of the meeting, look at them and give her approval of it. But personally, I don't feel that the second one is a more urgent need to be approved at this meeting. I think the reason why we have on an emergency basis is because we don't want to receive anything at the last minute without all the information. But applying for this grant is really important, and I think that's something that's kind of cut and dry that we should be doing it.
What
So
date is I Love Pahokee Day? What's the date
April
for
4th.
I Love Pahokee?
April 4th.
That's kind of.
but it's
It's not
giving her
emergency.
the authority to waive the fees and things like that. I just don't feel that's so important. I think at our next meeting, we still should be able to approve that.
No, I was just
enough
thinking
time.
about the ones that trying to apply, that the vendors who's trying to come, sometimes they like to know ahead of time, can they, could they come? Yeah, I think that's what I'm getting. I don't
Okay.
know.
That's,
Yeah, I know in the past, we've asked that policy come because that is part of our rental policy, and we've asked that policy come because it needs some cleaning up. And I think before, that was one of the concerns in there. It says that at the discretion of the manager, they decide who pay and who don't pay, and the commission had a concern about that, and we've asked for a workshop on that policy, but we've never gotten it before. Because a lot of the commissions, we didn't agree with that at their discretion, they decide who, and all of that is part of the rental policy, and that policy really needed to be cleaned up. And And I know we voted on that policy to come before the commission before. Because it's
Question,
not a separate policy by itself. It's part of the rental policy.
question, to make sure that I'm understanding. The vendors are asking, wanting to apply, and we're trying to set the fees for that particular event.
Yes, sir, what we're trying to do.
My next question, don't we have something already in the charter that addresses vendor fees and stuff? I'm asking, I'm not sure.
We have
I
a
thought I read
policy
that
already.
somewhere.
We do have a policy in place already under the, under
I'm saying
our
that
rental
may not be
policy, but
something
it's
that may
not,
need-
it's not clear. We wanted to clean it up.
We have a policy where, when someone's renting the different locations, the cafeteria, the marina, those areas, there are fees for that. But as far as what we're charging vendors when you have an event, there's nothing
That's my
there.
specific
So what
question.
we're trying to be is to be consistent with what we're gonna charge someone. So
Yeah, I
there's
agree.
no comments about, you charge this person one thing, you charge that person another. Everyone will be charged
That
the
was,
same.
that answers.
That's
answers
the-
my question.
that's
I
the
just wanted
goal.
to know
Yes.
that I was specifically talking about the actual
Okay.
vendors, not the renting of the facilities, just the different vendors. I thought there was a policy already in place that addressed that, because if there were, there would be no need to even, we can just go ahead and move forward and charge whatever that set rate is. But if there's not a set rate,
Let's
I
move
stand corrected.
to take a vote on those two items, and we're gonna do them separately. The first item that the interim city manager requesting to be added to the agenda is this list item again.
If the item in reference to FDOT, the FDOT scope M, that's on the, being able to apply for the funding. And then the second one is as far as the.
Let's do the first
just the
one
one.
first.
Okay.
Are there a motion on that?
I make a motion.
It's been moved by Commissioner Scott and properly second by Commissioner McDonald. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes,
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner McPherson,
yes,
Vice Mayor Calvin Williams,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Thank you. Motion passed by unanimous vote. Now we'll move to the second request. Again, just state the request, interim city manager.
Okay. The request is to set a vendor fee for our vendors who are applying to use when we're having city events. And the deadline, well, the next event is April 4th.
Are there a motion for that?
I make a motion that we accept it.
There's a second.
second.
Been moved by Commissioner Scott and properly second by Commissioner Mike Pearson for that item to be added to the agenda. Call for questions. My question is, I think it's a worthwhile add-on. However, I don't think it's at an emergency basis where it needs to be voted on at this particular meeting. It's just my comments. In addition, comments.
Well, just for the record, you all do have, as a part of 2-24 of your Code of Ordinances, it does say that it is an add-on emergency basis. And so if you determine that it is an emergency, you can add it on to the agenda. So as a part of your consideration, since you all have been having issues with what's an emergency and what's not, you may want to consider that as a part of your vote.
In addition to comments? Hearing,
I would think because it's April the 4th and it's kind of close, you know. If I'm a business, I would want to know earlier, not wait 2 weeks or a week out, whether or not I'm going to be accepted to come up there or not. You know, because some people plan 6 months ahead of time and stuff like that. That's what that's my,
in addition to comments? Hearing none? No, go ahead.
It's not an emergency.
That's not an emergency.
I mean, it's not. It doesn't meet the criteria.
In addition to questions? Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Scott,
yes,
Commissioner McPherson,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
No.
Vice Mayor Calvin Williams,
No.
Mayor Bab.
No. Motion denied. Now we'll move to presentation, proclamation, public service announcement, public comments, agenda items only. City Clerk, at this time, do we have any public service or public comments card completed?
No, sir, not for this section.
Okay. We do have one presentation, and I have the interim city manager introduce the presenter.
Okay, yes, Mayor. We have a Mr. Rob Beasley here. He's the Area Development Director for the UNCF South Florida, and he is here to do a presentation for the United Negro College Fund this evening. Mr. Beasley?
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rob J. Beasley. I'm with UNCF. I'm pleased to be here today. And let's see here. Okay. All right. Pleased to be here today. My name is Rob J. Beasley. I'm the Area Development Director with UNCF South Florida. I've been with the organization for 6 months now. You're looking at a product of someone who's from a small town. My parents were factory workers. They had less than a high school diploma. And I grew up in a little small town, familiar. Well, this town is very familiar to where I grew up. It's an agriculture state. Grew up in Delaware. And either you were going to be a warehouse worker, or you were going to be a pastor, or you were going to go on to college. So I'm very pleased to be here with you today as a product of someone who grew up in a small town. I'm a first generation college graduate student. And I'm really pleased to be in this position to serve in the capacity of helping our next generation go to college. So let's get started. I just want to give a big shout out and a thank you to our mayor, our vice mayor, our commissioners, to the city manager. When I reached out to you initially, you received me and UNCF with open arms, and I'm really pleased and thankful and grateful for this opportunity. To the community here, very pleased to be here with you today. UNCF and the city of Pahokee are no strangers. I serve along with our development director. Her name is Roxanna Blissett. She's been with the organization for 20 years. She said, Rob, before you go in there talking about UNCF, you need to know we have a history with the city of Pahokee. So don't throw them the kitchen sink because they have history. So after doing research and talking to Roxanna, she sends her regards, everyone. The city of Pahokee has had students, families who receive support from UNCF and also attended historically black colleges and universities. And they've gone on to do really great things. For decades, students from communities like Pahokee, Belglade, and throughout the Glades region have attended HBCUs with support from UNCF. And for more than 80 years, UNCF has worked to ensure that talented students, particularly those from underserved communities, first generation college students, and students from low to moderate income receive support so that they're not left behind. Our motto for the past 80 years has been, a mind is a terrible thing to waste, but it's a wonderful thing to invest in. Well, we understand that we're surrounded by talent. If you look close enough, you'll see that there's talent everywhere. We have students who have the resilience, they have the grades, they have the determination, but one thing they don't always have is financial support, right? So that's where we come in, so that no students are left behind, students that have put in the work, but yet they just lack the financial resources. So we really help to support them throughout their college journey. From start to finish, we are advocates, and we help to make sure that no child is left behind and that they don't fall between the cracks. So in a nutshell, I'm here because I would like to share with you 3 things, and I'll be out of your way. The impact UNCF is making here in Palm Beach County in South Florida, and how students from communities like Pahokee can benefit from these opportunities, and how we can partner with you throughout the course of the year to really expand educational opportunity for the young people who call this city home. As you can see, thank you, we have the local impact stats listed. So for those of you who are thinking just because we are the United Negro College Fund, we only support Black people, think again, we don't. We support anyone who's a first-generation student from low to moderate household incomes, also facing barriers that would prevent them from going to college, from all cultural faiths and all communities. And the impact stats here in in Palm Beach, 51 scholarships are awarded annually. Right now, we support about 40 students, and which totals about $206,718.54. How we make an impact is through scholarships. Scholarships really help students to get through college. We not just provide scholarships, but we provide educational programs, resources, advocacy. Also, we have what is called emergency funding. So let's say, for example, if your son or daughter has received a scholarship and they're in need of food, books, and housing, we have funding for them also. The average scholarship for UNCF right here in Palm Beach County is about $4,000. Right now, the population served is about 50,000 people who we serve and support. I would like to see that number expand. There's some partnership opportunities here. There's some folks who are really advocates for education right here in this room. And with the right type of help, I'm certain that we can help to increase those numbers. Next slide, please. So in communities like Glades region, many students are first-generation college students. Families may not have financial resources to support college tuition, such as mine. They didn't have the resources. And students may not always know where to find scholarships and college support programs. This is where UNCF comes in. As I stated, our mission is simple. It's to ensure that every student with the talent and determination to attend college has the opportunity to do so. We not only support students and families, but we support our 37 member institutions, HBCUs, and you can see them right there on the flat screens. Florida Memorial University is right there in Miami-Dade, and we have a great relationship with our member institutions. Next slide, please. In Palm Beach County, as I stated, approximately 40 students are supported annually, over $200,000 in scholarships, and also in aid are provided each year. More than 10 schools and community organizations partner with UNCF locally right here. These students often return to serve communities just like Pahokee as teachers, nurses, doctors, engineers, and community leaders. Some of the ways that we can really help to support the city of Pahokee would include FAFSA workshops, scholarship awareness, college representatives, career panels, and this could be hosted at City Hall, local schools, community centers, and also local churches. Right here in the city of Pahokee, our Future Leaders Scholarship, we could create a local scholarship fund specifically for students from Pahokee. Possible partners could be local businesses, faith organizations, agriculture, industry partners, and city leaders. And also, I was thinking a great way that we could really help to really raise money was working with our local faith leaders. We have some very resilient, impactful leaders right here in our community. And we're always working with our local churches to talk about the importance, the value of education. Many times, you know, our faith leaders right here are advocates, and they're also are very open to doing a fundraiser, a local fundraiser to support education and scholarship. So that would be great if we could connect with some of our faith leaders, maybe talk about, you know, a mind is a terrible thing to waste, some of our initiatives, and also hand out material with some scholarship opportunities with UNCF, right, the churches. And also, also thank our local leaders for helping us and partnering with us throughout the course of the year. Right here on your screen is some of our HBCU graduates, some of our some of our celebrities who graduated from HBCUs, some pastors, faith leaders, athletes, media, music, and lawyers, political leaders have graduated from HBCUs. Next slide, please. All right, so for those of you who are here, you have a son or daughter who's in high school, maybe they're a junior or senior, some ways that they can get involved, even if they're a freshman or a sophomore. If you have your phone, you can go ahead and scan the QR code right there. I always encourage those because our main focus is to really talk to a lot of juniors and seniors who are really ready right now to go to college and to make sure that they get some exposure, maybe bringing them onto a college campus so that they can meet some of the CAP advisors, some of the students, and some of the teachers right at the local university. So ways that they can get involved. Next slide, please. All right, you can go to the next. I just want to really quick hit on some of our scholarship programs that we have available. Some of our scholarship programs, the minimum GPA starts at 2.5, and it's a full ride. We have great partnership relationships with organizations like Fidelity. They offer a $100,000 for a year full ride scholarship, and the GPA is 2.5, which is a C+. So there's a lot of opportunities. In fact, there's so many opportunities where there's a lot of money that's being left on the table because many organizations and community leaders are unaware about UNCF. We're the nation's largest private provider of scholarships to students in minority communities. So we've been around for 81 years, and we have a track record of really working to raise money because we understand that for this next generation, they don't always have the finances to go to college. It's not like high school, right? So it costs money to go to college, and we're here to support their endeavors. Next slide, please. All right, and I'm almost done. I just want to make sure that for those of you who are parents, you have some students who are here. How can they go and learn about scholarship opportunities? At the screen here, they can go to uncf.org and create an account for absolutely free and learn about scholarship opportunities. Also, if they're interested in internship programs, we have those available as well. Next slide, please. All right, so we have our STEM Scholars program. And if you can just scroll up a little bit higher. Okay, gotcha. So there's a QR code there. I know it's really small. So the deadline is coming up April 15th so for those of you, and those are some of the requirements here, but we have a robust scholars STEM program for those who are interested in a science, technology, engineering, mathematics program at a university. Minimum GPA is a 3.0, and those are the criteria right there. You can go to the next slide, please. Okay. All right, so as you can see, you can go to the next, the minimum GPA for this particular, it's called the Foot Locker Foundation. The scholarship, the criteria is right here. Award up to 5,000, need-based, 2.5 GPA. All right.
Can you go back, can they go back to this side one more time?
Yep. So as I stated, we have over 500 programs, scholarships that we manage right here at UNCF. God bless you. And we would like to be here to support the city of Pahokee year-round. You can go to the next one, and I'm about ready to wrap it up here. There's one, here's one, but there's another one. Minimum GPA is a 3.0, ladies and gentlemen, and these are the criteria right here. Okay, thank you. Okay, so here's the Fidelity Scholars Program. It's just not a scholarship, but this particular scholarship, the GPA unweighted is a 2.5 to a 3.5. This particular scholarship is a life-changing opportunity that would change the course. Not only would the student be able to go to an HBCU, but they can go to any college in the state of Florida. A full ride for your scholarship, starting GPA is a 2.5. All right, and the next slide, please. Okay, all right. You can go to the next one, and the next one, please. All right, okay, so here we go. So year-round partnership opportunities, you know, I'm all about partnership and ensuring that we're able to set our students up for success. In other words, to do that, there's a awareness component, and also there's a fundraising component. So I've been with UNCF for 6 years. Prior to that, I've done some work as an ESL teacher, also worked in the performing arts as a musician. Communities like Pahokee have tremendous talent and potential. Many students here are first-generation college students, as I said earlier, who simply need financial and mentorship support and to succeed. UNCF mission is to ensure that those students have the resources that they need to pursue their dreams. In my finale is that we would love to partner with you. The city of Pahokee reminds me of my hometown, and the three things that were important was faith, family, and football. So, I mean, when I came here, I was like, oh my God, it's like being back in Milford, Delaware, an agriculture state. You have all the components, but there is some talent here. And I know that there are some advocates who want the next generation to be set up for success. So my last request is that we would love to partner with you and work with you, get to know you, build an organic relationship. If you want us to come out and do a talk, I assure you the PowerPoint will be prepared a little earlier next time, and that I have some other staff members with UNCF with me. So that's all that I have for you. Any questions, anyone? All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
In the audience, any questions? The partnership, what does that entail?
Partnership, what does that entail?
Okay, so if you can go to the last slide, back to the last slide, that's a very good question. So as I see it, the partnership would entail, I would say, okay, so annual UNC Education Scholarship Day, maybe hosting a FAFSA workshop, just talking with students about the importance of completing the FAFSA application. Some juniors and seniors, I mean, I'm talking about seniors, they don't always know to complete that. Also, maybe having a scholarship awareness night where we can just go and talk to the families and students about scholarships that are available before the deadline passes. College presentations. We work with UNCF scholars and also with folks who work at FMU. We have a great relationship with HBCUs. We can have them to also talk about that as well. I'm not sure if many of you are aware, but UNCF was started from a local church. And so the church is a lifeline of our organization. So we do believe in faith. I know I do. So how about a faith and education community walk, helping to raise dollars for students and families right here? How about a Pahokee Future Leaders Scholarship Fund? Also a mentorship program. So what I love about UNCF is that anyone who has received a UNCF scholarship, they go back and they pay it forward to a student and talk about their career. And what's great is that we're able to connect students who are interested in going into a STEM field with another UNCF scholar who was a STEM field major and they graduated. So it's important that they have that one-on-one relationship with other professionals after they've graduated who also receive support from the UNCF. But good question. Any other questions?
I have one.
Yes.
Okay, for the students that graduated last year, is pertaining to those students also?
Oh, yes, yes, yep. So our focus is ensuring that our juniors and seniors are aware of the scholarships and that they've completed the FAFSA. But also, anyone who's graduated, they can still apply for scholarships. My recommendation is that they go to uncf.org, create an account, and look for scholarships. And if they need assistance, my contact information is right there on the screen. I mean, I'm only here because of students, and I'm here to serve you. So I just want you to know I'm an advocate for students. I'm a first-generation college graduate, and it completely changed my life. I never looked back after I graduated. All right. Any other questions?
So,
Where are you gonna be set up at?
Anywhere you want me to. But our office
But I'm
is,
saying, we're partnering with them, so what you trying to tell them is, really, what are you trying to tell them?
so all we need is just a place to present, to just kind of talk about our scholarships, our educational programs. I'll go wherever you want me to go.
right,
As long as there's some AC, I'm there.
that was the question that I had, because listening to you, it sounds like you're looking to be pretty visible in our community. And so we want to make sure that, we set things up correctly, and that, we don't, after a few days, start wondering where you are. If you're going to be here as a partner, we really want you to be here to service our kids and give them what they need with regards to preparing to enter college.
Right. So I just want you to know that I'm in this for the long game. There's no short game here, helping students, and not just students to receive those educational programs, but for them to get to college and through college. Life happens, and I'm in this for the long haul. Now, I would like to say something because you brought up a good question. So it's me and my colleague, Roxana Blessett. We cover all of South Florida and also down to the Keys. And now I just received information that we now have Southwest Florida. So it's only 2 of us. So when I come here, I want to make sure it's very fruitful and that we're able to have a good impact and just talk about what we do here. So it would have to be something I would go through you, but I would always have time to come here. But I would love to.
Now you got me thinking, because
Yeah.
you say you got all of South Florida, now they added Southwest Florida.
Southwest Florida.
And
They
it's
pulled
only
the
2 of you.
Yes.
And I do remember hearing about the UNCF some time ago.
Yes.
And so I'm wondering what happened, why they became, inexistent,
Oh yeah. So
non-existent rather.
good question.
And so now you're back,
Mhm.
and what's going to convince us to enter this partnership
Sure.
if you're not going to have?
and-
You only got 2 people, and you letting us know.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna be spread pretty thin because
Yes.
it's only 2 of you.
So that's a very good question. For me, Florida's home. That's the one place. Well, I could say Florida's home in the sense that I'm a 8-year cancer survivor, diagnosed with cancer here. So my doctors, and I want to tell you, I received so much support from people who are not blood related to me that it really made me feel like this is home. So I want to tell you, I'm a first-generation college graduate student, and Florida for me is home. When I came here today, and this is my first time coming to this town, so this was almost like a culture shock to me, but it resonated in the sense that this is like home. So I'm in this for the long game. This is like a dream job that I've always wanted. The impact and the purpose is huge. And just for me to be in this position to pay it forward for a young man. And I grew up poor, y'all. I grew up eating hot dogs and potatoes. So I know what it's like to be in poverty. But because of family and faith and sports, of course, you feel the love. So, my community have helped me. So I wanted to pay it forward for a student here in Pahokee. And if you give me an opportunity, I would love to work with you. And I'm just asking for a chance. That's it.
Great, thank you. That's it from the, public for his
You have
comments.
any business cards?
Yes.
And I would like to say to Mr. Beasley, you're here doing your presentation, but he's also down on the agenda later under new business. I wasn't aware he was doing another presentation today, but you're here for new business because you were not here before, and we had mentioned about bringing you back. But it's on the agenda further down, so I guess, I don't know if we need to sell anything here or not, but I'll be reaching out to you to see how we can partner, and then I'll share it with the commission to make sure that we're all on board and just see and how we can get started from there.
Absolutely, and I just want to say that there's more than one way. For example, we can meet virtually, we can set up a webinar. So on the national level, UNCF does have a lot of webinars where we talk about scholarships. So we have more than one way that we can help to share the scholarships, the opportunities that we have available. All we're providing, we're trying to provide access and opportunity for our young students, and that's it. And support you as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Beasley. Next, we'll entertain our consent agenda. We have 5 items on the consent agenda consisting of various commission meeting minutes.
Can I say something before we get started with that? It's just about the quality of this document.
Yeah.
If we can do better, that would be good. That's all. I mean, it's all faded and stuff.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion for the adoption of the consent agenda if that's the desire of the commission.
Mayor Bev, I move that we adopt the consent agenda with the one add-on.
Are there a second?
Second.
It is moved by Vice Mayor Williams and proper second by Commissioner Mike Pearson for the adoption of the consent agenda items as listed. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Calvin Williams,
Yes.
Commissioner McPherson,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Motion passed by unanimous vote. Next, we'll have old business discussion of existing activities of previously held events, if any. Interim City Manager, do we have anything listed that you want to mention?
Yes, Mayor. Under old business, the only thing that I have is something that previously happened. On February the 15th, our Crime Stoppers 15th Annual Cruising for Crime Stoppers motorcycle bike riders came through the marina, and they sent a letter of thanks to the city of Pahokee. They did ask that I read out to the commission. And so it says, to Tammy Busty, City of Pahokee, 207 Begonia Drive. Dear Miss Busty, on February the 15th, 2026, Crime Stoppers of Palm Beach County, Inc. held our 15th annual Cruising for Crime Stoppers motorcycle ride. This fundraiser helps us raise money to pay out rewards for anonymous tips leading to an arrest and or recovery of narcotics or stolen property. The profits from this event also help us support law enforcement efforts to reduce and solve crimes, as well as continue to remove weapons and drugs from our schools in Palm Beach County through our Student Crime Stoppers program. This fundraiser would not be possible without our supporters. We would like to take time to thank you and the city for hosting our riders in your city with a warm welcome, rest stop amenities, and refreshments. We look forward to a continued partnership next year. Sherry Cole, President. And she said thanks to the city of Pahokee. And that's all I have under old business.
Mayor Bev, we didn't do the minutes, the approval of the minutes first. The approval of the minutes was first before that. We didn't do the approval of the minutes.
For the consent agenda?
Yeah.
We didn't do that?
No.
Okay. I'm sorry. Let's go back to the consent agenda. We need to take a vote on that. We have
The minutes, we didn't approve the minutes. That was the first item.
Yeah, that was the consent.
The minutes?
And Mayor, if I can ask clarity regarding the document.
yes, go ahead.
So I'm just trying to get further clarity what's been said.
I think you were
regarding
talking about the fading of the writing. Some of the writing was not legible, it's kind of faded. The printing
That
of
could
it.
be the printer, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, whatever it is, you put these together and put them in our box.
I had someone to print it for me, and it could be something
Okay.
that was the cause of the printer. Okay?
I'm not making a case of it, I just said.
Yeah, I just wanted to understand what the,
document is
what the matter was.
policy.
Okay, thank you.
We don't have any public hearings and or ordinances. We do have a resolution, next, Resolution 2026-07.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee, Florida, ratifying the city manager's execution of a state-funded grant agreement, Small County Outreach Program Scoop Contract Number G-2129 for the purpose of a time extension, extending the project completion deadline with the State of Florida Department of Transportation until December 30th, 2027, as more specifically set forth in Exhibit A, providing for adoption of representations, providing for an effective date.
Thank you, City Attorney. City Interim Manager, could you give us a brief explanation?
Yes, sir. The City of Pahokee entered into a state-funded grant agreement with the Florida Department of Transportation under financial project number 448100-154-01 for the McClure Road construction project. McClure Road from Palm Road to South Lake Drive. The previous agreement set a project completion deadline of June 30th, 2026. Due to a series of administrative transitions and financial challenges that the city has experienced over the past 28 months, which have profoundly impacted the project timeline, the city has requested an extension of the project deadline to ensure adequate time for construction completion, closeout, and submission of the final invoice package. As indicated in Exhibit A, FDOT has agreed to grant the requested extension, time extension number 2, to SFGA, which reflects this change. There is no immediate fiscal impact associated with the extension of the project timeline. The extension will provide adequate time for completion, closeout, and submission of the final invoice package. All costs associated with the project are covered under the original SFGA with FDOT. And the letter showing the approval is attached. The documents, I mean. So staff recommends approval of this item is simply extending the time from June 2026 to December 2027.
City Commission, having heard Resolution 2026-07 properly read into the minutes by our City Attorney, properly explained by City Manager, what is your preference?
I move that we accept resolution 2026-07.
Second.
It has been moved by Commissioner McPherson and properly seconded by Commissioner McDonald for the adoption of Resolution 2026-07. Call for questions.
Yes, will there be a completion date? Are we not at that stage? And my second question would be, will that be enough time to get that project done, the extension to December 20, December 27, okay, that's the adequate time, yeah.
In our conversation with them, they're stating that December 2027 give them plenty of time to complete it. And then once they're completed, and I'll keep you all updated as they keep us updated each meeting. But they're saying December 2027 should give them enough time.
I have a question, Madam Bab. Is this the same resolution that Boulay was talking about last week that at the last meeting? This is just us ratifying it where she said that she was sure they was gonna give us the extension for 2026 and we're just ratifying it today?
This is a resolution that you're being asked to approve.
I'm saying, is it for the same thing that she talked about 2 weeks ago? I guess that's my question that I'm asking.
It may be, because I have it signed February 26th, so yes, that's the same one.
Any additional questions? Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McPherson?
Yes,
Commissioner McDonald?
Yes.
Commissioner Scott?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Calvin Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Motion passed by unanimous vote. Now, at this time, I don't know, City Attorney, have you had an opportunity to kind of look at the resolution?
I
that-
did, and
Okay.
Ms. Boulay did give me the backup, and I think generally it's fine.
Okay. Next, we'll move to the add-on resolution that the interim city manager wanted to have add-on as a emergency basis. In that resolution, if we could just read it into the minutes if we have it.
The resolution of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee, Florida, authorizing the submission of four applications to the Florida Department of Transportation FDOT Small County Outreach Program Municipalities Scope-M for establishing project priorities referencing Exhibit A, location map, roadways to be resurfaced, Scoop-M, authorizing the interim city manager to designate, to execute, and submit all required applications, material, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you, City Attorney. City Manager, could you give us a brief explanation?
Yes, the report is the Florida Department of Transportation provides funding opportunities through the Small County Outreach Program to assist eligible municipalities with roadway construction and improvement projects. Participation in this program allows the City of Pahokee to compete for state funding to address critical roadway infrastructure needs while minimizing the financial burden on local resources. City staff has identified several road segments that require reconstruction and resurfacing to improve safety, accessibility, and overall roadway conditions. In order to maximize funding opportunities, staff recommends that the City Commission authorize the submission of 4 SCOP-M applications and establish the following priority ranking. Priority 1 is West 3rd Street from South Lake Avenue to Carissa Drive. Priority 2, West 2nd Street. Priority 3, West 5th Terrace. And priority 4, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. There is no immediate fiscal impact associated with the submission of these applications. If awarded, the projects will be funded primarily through the FDOT SCOP-M program funds, with any required local match or additional project costs to be identified and considered by the City Commission during the project implementation phase.
Thank you, City Attorney. City Commission, having heard resolutions properly read into the minutes by our City Attorney, properly explained by City Manager, what is your preference?
Could you repeat the resolution date for me, number for me?
2026-08.
I move that we accept resolution 2026-08.
Second.
It has been moved by Commissioner Mike Pearson and properly seconded by Commissioner Mike Donner for the passage of Resolution 2026-08. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McPherson,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Calvin Williams,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Motion passed by unanimous vote. Now we'll move to new business, presentation by the City Manager of activities of upcoming events, if any. And there are at least 2 listed here. City Manager.
Okay, is that one was with the UNCF presentation, so that one has been taken care of, I assume? So that was fine. Okay, the next one is the funding allocation for the financial consultant contract. You all were provided a memo in your agenda packet, and I'll read it to you as printed. Here's a general summary and background. Pursuant to the Commission's request during the February 24th meeting, this memo clarifies the funding structure for the financial consultant contract. The total contract cost of $85,000 will be covered using existing funds within the current approved budget. Therefore, no budget amendment or interdepartmental transfers are required. The funding source breakdown is below, and the following accounts have been identified to provide direct coverage for the professional services. Okay, if you look, the first account number, 51301310-310, is our financial and general accounting line item professional services. The amount for the finance consultant currently is $42,600. That's the current amount available, current account balance. And then account 590000-310 is the non-departmental professional services. The amount from that account is $20,000, and that current amount balance in there is $20,000. If you go to 590000-919, that's a non-departmental contingency line item. The current amount for the financial consultant is $22,400, and the current balance in that account is $60,000. So if you look at the amount for the finance consultant is $85,000. Over in the accounts where the funds will be coming from, will be used from, is $122,600. And so there's no real budget impact because no changes are being made to the bottom line.
So we're taking you said the $122,000 is left, or that's what we're taking, $122,000?
No, the amounts that are in those accounts equal to $122,600. Those are the current amount. That's the current amount that's in those accounts right now. And when I take the $20,000 from the one account and $22,400 out of the $60,000, that gives us the $84,000.
So for the I guess I'm trying to get an understanding, for the non-departmental professional services, how much was in there? Because we don't have the budget in front of us. How much was originally in there?
Okay. The current balance, okay, look at the second column. The current balance in each account is in the second column. It's $42,600 in the first account. There's $20,000 in the second account. There's $60,000 in the third account. From each account, it shows out of the $42,600, I'm going to use $42,600. Out of the one with $20,000, I'm going to use $20,000. Out of the one with $60,000, I'm going to only use $22,400 of that, and that totals your $85,000. And all of these accounts come out of general funds.
So all of these are general funds?
Yes.
So we're not going to have anything left for non-departmental professional services?
No, we won't.
We won't have anything left for that? Okay. And I don't remember. Does anybody remember, did we have that already allocated for any services? Do you know? Because I was just wondering how we're going to pay for those services.
It's non-departmental, so nothing's allocated.
Nothing was allocated,
No,
okay.
ma'am.
So I guess my next question is, so the budget doesn't need to be amended because we are using funds for, we're taking it from one department and using it for finance, so do we have to amend the budget, Mayor Bab, to do that, or?
No, I can answer that question. No, you don't have to. What it is that all these funds that we're talking about, they come out of general funds. They're not coming from different funds. And as long as your bottom line isn't affected, there's no budget amendment needed, because I'm not transferring, I'm not adding or decreasing. As long as I'm not adding or decreasing to the budget, there's no budget amendment needed.
Just for clarification, just want to make sure that's
So-
correct. We'll refer to city attorney just for
I
information.
did discuss this with Ms. Bussey, and what I recommended, because the vote was for a budget amendment, and I asked her whether there were other things that could use amendment right now, since that was the vote, and then she could align this showing where the money is coming from, rather than, kind of looking to balance it. I did ask that she speak with the new budget consultant, and I think that just got signed just recently. So, so that's a question. I'm not sure if that's the advice she gave you, or if you talked with her about that. But what is common that you see is whenever there's a budget amendment, it is also aligning where the funds came from, in addition to, in addition to changes, adds and subtractions. So if this is what the the finance person told her, I will defer to that. But if, on the other hand, like I said, I did discuss with her this issue, and I did also advise her that if there are things, because there's fireworks and other things that you all have been talking about and been doing, and now might be an appropriate time to do an amendment because you're, several months into the fiscal year. Yeah. So you could, this is the advice that she got, and you may want to ask her that, because that's the advice I gave her to check with that person. But it would not be unusual to have a budget amendment that would show the actual sources and places where you're taking the funds.
And for the commission too, we can request that the city manager bring forth a budget amendment, although it may not be a requirement. That could be our request if that was a desire of us to have that done. I'm not saying
that's what McPherson did. That was what the motion. That's what he asked for.
Exactly, and as making an administrative decision, a budget amendment shouldn't be done just because you request it. It should be done if it's needed. And I spoke with the financial person. I spoke with the new financial consultant, and I looked from my understanding of a budget. Here's how the budget works. As long as you're not decreasing or increasing or changing anything, you don't have to do a budget amendment. Maybe that's what you're understanding. Maybe I'm explaining you all from experience, from speaking to the people who have been doing the finance. This isn't a legal obligation because no one's being sued. It's not adjusting. It's not taking money that you can't identify. Let me finish. So what you're going to do is this. When you have funds, when the invoice comes in, you take the invoice and you take the money and you pay it from that particular line item. Yes, you can take the $22,000 and the $20,000 and put it over into the one account. That would require a budget amendment, Mayor. But we're going to have to do a budget amendment soon because we're coming into the middle of the year budget time. Our new financial consultant is there, and she's going to see some things that we know we're going to have to adjust. So why not wait and do one adjustment all at once versus doing something for this one thing that doesn't require a budget amendment? I respect what Commissioner McPherson recommended, and it makes sense if it has to be done. So I'm not being insubordinate. I'm just saying, being the administrator, the manager that you are asking to do this day-to-day task, it shouldn't be doing things because you think it should be done. If it needed to be done, absolutely. If it was going to protect the city, absolutely. But it's not necessary. And everything is covered.
Yes, I understand all of that, and I certainly agree with the good majority of it. However, if this commission desire and want a budget amendment done, I believe that's what the commission is asking. So whether it's required or not, you need to follow through on the request of the commission.
And my question is, for the budget amendment, what am I amending?
I guess I have a question then. So are you able, I guess I want to make sure I'm understanding it. Excuse me.
She didn't stop.
Do business.
So I guess I'm asking, so if money is allocated for one thing, are you saying that long as the budget balance, you can take and move the money around and use it as needed? Is that what I guess that's my understanding of what I'm saying. That's what you're saying. Because the money is.
When I got with our assistant finance director, who's still there, Miss Glennie, and I asked her for a record because as you all should realize, that I came into a budget that you all had already approved. Mm-hmm. So I'm incorporating and working from what was already there, which all of you should have a copy of your budget and access to it. Mm-hmm. So in speaking to Ms. Glennie, asking her for the things that are designated, there are a lot of areas that are not specifically that does not have anything specifically designated for it.
I think.
As long as we can be clear where the funds are coming from, I think, to me, that should be the bottom line. And if you are going to amend the record or the budget going forward, when it's going to be necessary, I don't see a problem.
And I think I made the motion. There were two items. One of them was dealing with the finance consultant and the person that took over the grant writing thing, and I did that for clarification. Well, however, if the commission requests that, that's what needs to come back to the commission. I know you have a lot of authority to do and liberty to do things, but if the commission requests something and vote on it, it has to come back as a future agenda item.
No, and I respect that, but my question still is, I'm trying to see what I need to amend. I'm just asking, what is it that you want me to amend?
Well, one of the things I think was my concern was even the person that we're paying for that we moved, that's taking, what we moving the grant writer money, the money is there. However, I like information, detail, so when you look at a budget, if someone from the outside come and they look at that money that's designated for a grant writer and we don't have a grant writer, then you're trying to explain, what I'm trying to do is eliminate unnecessary questions that may come up in the future. And if it's for a grant writer and we change that position, we need to show the money going to that, specifically to that position. That was my motion from the last meeting.
And I understand that, Commissioner McPherson, and I agree with you, but let me just make sure that I'm understood. What we have is we have a grant writer position being paid $60,000. The only thing that I did as an interim city manager is I changed the grant writer to strategic planner with the $60,000. So nothing changed but the title that has been done by other city managers. I did that. And what I was gonna do, what I need to do, is when the budget amendment is done with all the other things that need to be done, but doesn't need to be done on the financial consultant position, when the amendment is done, I can see where I go in to the budget, on the budget sheet where it says grant writer, and just remove that and put strategic planner. The numbers are still not changing, and the location is still in the same department and the same line item. So I'm just trying to make sure, because I want to do what you as a commissioners asked me to do. I'm trying to, not make any extra work if we don't have to and cause any other confusion, because the auditors are coming. And the more time they see you make budget amendments, the more their eyebrows are going to raise. So I'm just saying the bottom line isn't changing. The funds are staying the same. If the invoice coming in, I'm going to be able to pay it out of that line item without increasing or decreasing anything.
But you're making amendments to clarify what they're looking at in the budget. If they look at that and say grant writer, and the money is gone, we use that money for another position, but the money is the grant writer. When they look at that budget, they're gonna see line item, grant writer.
Okay, so what I do is, at the next meeting, I do a budget amendment showing the grant writer is now strategic planner, same amount of money, no ups, no down, and then I will, again, this memo shows where the money is coming from, and there's not an overage. So
Yeah, that's
okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'll do your budget amendment for you.
Okay. Thank you. Next,
Okay, that's all I have.
Next, we have the report of the mayor. I'd like to acknowledge our former city commissioner, Allie Biggs, who was our first African-American female commissioner in the city of Pahokee. Thank you for your attendance, Commissioner Biggs. She stepped in at one point. I'm not sure. Okay. Okay. I also want to congratulate Commissioner Mike Pearson and Vice Mayor Williams for their second year in office. Congratulations. Thank you for your service. Job well done. I'd like to acknowledge and congratulate Commissioner James Scott for his 1 year service to the commission, and also Commissioner Mike Donald, I think, have served notably for about 4 years. I have been here as mayor, as an elected official, for 10 years, and
Congratulations,
I think we have done a great job during my tenure as mayor. And a lot of people ask me, and I'm not sure why, but they continue to ask, you know, what have you done for the city of Pahokee? And I just jotted just a few things down. I'm gonna list a few because I want to list that and do that. I also want to acknowledge prior to that, Chandler Williamson, who I think was our best, or one of our best city manager that we ever had. Chandler had some issues. He's not a perfect servant, but he was a public servant. So I want to thank him for his time in office. And I know that he had some issues even with the IG. And I even reported him on 1 or 2 occasions for things that I thought wasn't appropriate. But going back to just a few things that I just want to mention, this live streaming that we're doing, and I don't want to brag on myself, but I just want to show some of the things that I have initiated during the time I've been here for 10 years. This live streaming that we're doing now, I initiated that. I made sure that we was able to have the funding through, again, the city manager, that we needed live streaming to let our residents know what was going on in our community. So if they wasn't able to attend city commission meetings, they're able to attend through live streaming. And that's been going on for 10 years, ever since I've been here. I've done some major recommendation for boards that we have that's pretty active or was active, the Community Relation Board and things of those issues. We demolished the old house pillar. That's now having construction for a town home project. And that's the first housing project that we've had in about 30 years. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud that I was a part of that. And everything I'm gonna list and not point at anybody on here because these are new commissioners. But I'm telling you what Progress Pahokee have done during the 10 years, or some of the things we have done during the 10 years that I've been a mayor. And again, I'm not running for a re-election at this time anyway, because that's only 2 years about to occur when it does occur, if it does occur. We did $4.5 million for Barfield Highway, a total reconstruction. That project is totally completed. We did $750,000 at Glade Citizen Village. We did the stormwater improvement. We did the repavement of the roads and streets out there, every single one of them. We was awarded $1 million for McClure project, which would soon, hopefully soon, come on board. That's been a time that we had some delays in it, but hopefully now with our interim city manager and our staff that we have now, it's moving forward. We did $550,000 at Commissioner Park. We did a splash park for our kids, splash pad. We did new equipment there at that park. We did a $1 million new state-of-the-art football field for our youth. We did $2 million to renovate the old gymnasium, a gym that was closed for over 12 years. During 10 years period of time, we had 60% of our streets either redone or repaved. 60%. We have some issues now, and that's as always a challenge to keep streets updated. But I'm just saying, during a 10-year period, we had at least 60% of the streets repaved. We hosted one of the largest meetings in Western Palm Beach County. It was dealing with Senate Bill 10. The Senate President, Joe Negrin, came and participated in that town hall meeting, along with former County Commissioner McKinley and myself, who was a panelist. That was one of the largest meetings ever held in the Glades. I have had the rare opportunity as an elected official, as a mayor of the city, to be invited to Tallahassee to have a one-on-one meeting with our current governor of the state of Florida in his office. One-on-one. Not one staff other than myself was in there. And that's a rare distinction, a rare opportunity that we had as a city to have your mayor meet with the governor one-on-one. And I don't know if any other elected officials, whether Republican or Democrat, that had that opportunity to meet with him one-on-one without any other person in there.
What y'all talking about? What y'all talking about?
Senator Marco Rubio have attended a town hall meeting and was a panelist on our town hall meeting here at the city of Pahokee. The past governor have been here. The current governor have been to Pahokee press conference during the pandemic. I've heard that someone say I don't even have a telephone number for 2 people in Tallahassee. I've been in office for 30 years. I have a lot of contact in Tallahassee. I have a lot of phone numbers in Tallahassee. The last governor personally gave me his cell number, personally, and asked me and the director that I call him at any time that we needed any type of assistance in the city of Pahokee. We celebrated our 100-year anniversary in 2022. Some people thought that this city would be dissolved. It wasn't. We flourished. Not only did we celebrate our centennial, we had a year-long celebration, including a gala. We had a committee of residents who put on different programs and assisted with celebrating our 100-year anniversary. During the pandemic, I traveled to West Palm Beach at least 60 days during the pandemic, 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week, to pick up food for our residents. I distributed them to various churches and other community groups who wanted to help distribute it out during the pandemic. Not only that, during the pandemic, again, the governor came down to make sure that we had vaccine for our residents. Personally came down to the city of Pahokee during the blue-green algae outbreak, one of the worst we had in the city of Pahokee at our marina. I was there firsthand, working with South Florida Water Management District. So those are just a few things that people may not know or may not give us credit for doing. And I know we have an opportunity to move this city forward, and that's what we're doing. With this current commissioner, we are moving it forward. But there have been a lot of past movement, and I'm talking about just recently in 10 years, and I would challenge anyone that find a 10-year period that much have been done in 10 years. I was calling myself at one time the $15 million mayor, and that was because we succeeded and was able to successfully bring home over $15 million during that time. Someone say, you don't need to speak and you don't need to interrupt me. This is the mayor report. Some people say that Palm Beach County don't support us. Palm Beach County put $2 million in our gymnasium. Palm Beach County built a $5 million renovation facility for the homeless, and that's right here in Pahokee. So we have a great relationship. We always had a great relationship, and we will continue to have a great relationship. That concludes my mayor report. And next we have the report of the city manager.
Okay, all right, thank you, Mayor. My report just includes things that I've been doing as your interim city manager to try to continue progress here in Pahokee. And I read my memo so that way I don't forget vital things that you may need to know. But one of the things that I want to report is give an update on Blue Ops, the company that did a presentation. At the direction of you all, once the gentleman did the presentation, the Florida Department of Environmental Protection was contacted to confirm whether the city could enter into a rental agreement with Blue Ops, a division of the Red Cap Holdings, for the use of the city marina facilities in addition to their use of waterways. I spoke with Brad Richardson, Division of State Land Bureau Chief, who confirmed that the city may rent marina assets to Blue Ops, including boat slips and available campsites, as long as the use remains consistent with the city's existing lease and management requirements, which was affirmed. Additionally, Blue Ops has confirmed to the city that their operations will not disrupt the city's waterways. The company has also indicated that as part of their technology department, they may utilize the lake to test their V7 vessels and their GCS systems, which involves boats and drones technology used to test and refine their operational capabilities. And so, in a nutshell, we did reach out to the state, and they were saying it was okay to do the lease. They could not tell us who to lease to as long as it wasn't environmental danger. So that's the one. Then also, Blue Cycle Technologies, this was something that we wanted to highlight as far as the marina. They've awarded Florida DEP a grant to remove harmful algae and improve the water quality right here in our marina. This is a critical step in protecting Lake Okeechobee, as we all know. And so if all our respective areas of concern are addressed, the project is set to start May and June of this year. Okay, so it's operating a 1 million gallon per day algae harvesting system for an initial 3 years with the potential to extend. Okay, with your guidance, we have reached out and we've requested a meeting with all parties, and they've accepted to ensure we are fully aligned on our next steps and maintaining due diligence, and currently waiting a set date. So we'll meet with them again to give you all an update. But this is an opportunity for us to lead in environmental innovation, public education, and community proud. So we are proud to just support Blue Cycle and just look for the immediate assistance and the benefits it will give to the city. Okay, and so that's on those. And just as you all know, we're just continuing to work on the infrastructure. I've been here now 5 months and 4 days. And as you know, most of you can see, some don't, but most of you can see, is that, doing things to bring the city forward. Have I fixed roads? No, not yet. There's no money. Have we done anything with the marina? We're working on that now. At your request of Blue Op, we're moving forward with them, moving forward with the water algae. We're in contact with our lobbyists. Just FYI, I did speak to LaToya Shields the other day, and our proposals are going through the legislator right now. She said it's going extremely slow for some reason. Funds are being, held back, but she's gonna keep us updated on that. And also, we are meeting with Everglades Prep, as you all know. We have a tour with them. Commissioner McDonough and myself and Ms. Boulay, we were with them doing a tour of the school, and they're gonna have more investors coming out. We'll give you all the dates to look at moving forward, what they were talking about. And so just making, as much of an attempt as I can to move us forward. And also just addressing department issues across the city, going out to the various departments that we're responsible for, checking on these employees. Very much understaffed. As we look at the budget, they're very much understaffed on what we all expect them to do with the city of Pahokee and those other areas, but we're gonna address those. I'm out checking on the residents, their concerns, the homelessness. I'm meeting with the residents. They come up to City Hall, we, stop in the roadway to speak with them. And so those are things that I'm trying to get out to do. Attending meetings, gathering information to better serve our cities. We're going to the Palm Beach County League of Cities, Florida League of Cities, meeting with state representatives, local representatives, getting our audit on track. Now we're entering the budget season, so getting to work on that, looking through those things. So it's enough to deal with, in my only 5 months and 4 days. But on top of that, the public records request that we're getting, we almost need a part-time person for that. And that's taken away, tasking our clerk, our HR, our IT, and even myself with these public records requests. It's just astonishing. And the thing about it is that those public records requests are not just coming from our residents. They're coming from officials. And I'll read a few to you because it's time consuming. I'm trying to work, not be micromanaged, and handle the business of the city and serve the people that we have made an oath to serve. So I get emails and requests like this. Good afternoon, Ms. Bussey. I'm emailing to request a copy of all email communications you have had with any state officials and entities regarding the city of Pahokee since your appointment as interim city manager. Also, documentation for the position change from grant writer that was approved by the commission to a strategic planner that was not approved by the commission. The position, the salary, the job description, and work hours for the strategic planner. Documentation of your advertisement for the strategic planner. All documentation, including emails that has taken place with the present strategic planner since your appointment as interim city manager. Good afternoon, Ms. Busty. I'm emailing to request that starting February 2026 that you forward your monthly City of Pahokee calendar affiliated appointments to me by the 3rd of each month. If there are any other changes in your schedule, please update accordingly. Thank you for your attention. Good evening, Ms. Busty. I'm requesting a salary of each individual position on the attached organizational chart. Thanks for your attention to this matter. I will look forward to receiving this in a timely manner. All these emails that I'm getting from a commissioner when I can be doing other things for the city. And so, Vice Mayor, I'm busy. And these things are just so unnecessary.
And I hope you're not just reading mine, because I'm sure, and I will do a record request to make sure I'm not the only one that's sending one, but yes, I did. Yeah, I'm sure I'll be doing a records request for that. I will.
You along with David
I
Ruiz.
will be doing a records request, because I think that's so inappropriate for you to do here in a commissioner meeting with emails that I'm sending to you, that you wants to read them in the public as that. So I think that's so unprofessional and inappropriate.
It's a public records request, everybody knows anyway. David Ruiz knows because he asks the same thing. And my last thing is this, also, my sorority had an event on Sunday at the marina, and they did pay. They went through
I'll be requesting everyone that has to have one up there to make sure they paid.
I know that. That's why I make sure that they are. That's all I have, Mayor.
Next, we'll have the report of the city attorney.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, City Commissioners, I wanted to bring your attention to the fact that there are a lot of interesting bills floating through the legislature right now, and some that will affect municipalities in a very negative way, particularly municipalities that are diverse, like the city of Pahokee. For instance, there's a House bill that passed, Senate bill passed It's 11:34, and I believe it passed this afternoon. I was driving here, but I believe it would have passed. And the bill, if signed into law, will have a chilling effect on our municipalities. The bill prohibits counties and municipalities from funding, promoting, or taking any official action relating to diversity, equity, and inclusion. It also includes policies, programs, ordinance, resolutions, programs, and policies, and questions were asked of the sponsor about translation services. And it should be noted that during the debate on the House floor, the bill sponsor said that limiting translation services was not necessarily his intent. But this is an important statement because any person who decides to sue our city, intent, it will matter in litigation. And so there is language throughout this particular bill that is very vague, and the observations of holidays that you're allowed to observe are going to be limited to those that are outlined in the Senate bill analysis. And so these are things that we probably want to get with our lobbyists on to make sure that we're clear about it once it does pass. Some of the bills have an expedited time period. It's not July 1st, but it might be something earlier than that. And so these are things that we want to certainly stay on top of. And there are just a lot of questions looming about different things that are just so bad. I mean, speech issues, all kinds of things that are just laws that will negatively, I think, impact the city of Pahokee. So just keep that in mind and be careful about, some of the things that we may be even discussing. And so I want to just tee it off for you all so you can talk to it with your colleagues outside of the city of Pahokee, and we'll collectively see what we need to do to make sure that the city is protected. Also, I also want to just acknowledge and say to the mayor, I am so appreciative of your going over highlights of great things that the city has been doing and has engaged in. And I think oftentimes good things get drowned out, and it's going to take a whole community, and really not only yourself but all of you, to uplift and talk positively about the city, to make people feel a different way, because it really does start from leadership at the top. And I just want to personally acknowledge your statements that were accurate and heartfelt, at least for me, because I do want to feel that the city is moving in the right direction. I believe that it is. Thank you. That's all I have.
Next, we have future agenda items of the commission, if any. And I'll start with Commissioner McPherson. Okay. I'll just like to request, and I think we did it previously, that we are able to receive at least some type of itemized listing of our lobbyist activities, especially during this lobbying season. We're paying, I'm be honest, $7,500. And just like an attorney, normally when they bill you, they give you a list of what they're doing, who have they spoken to, what are they doing during this time. And to be honest, and this is not the right time to bring it up, but we do that year round, 12 months a year, even out of season, out of lobbying season. So I just want to make sure that they're working really hard, and I believe they are, but I can at least see what they're doing and who they've spoken to and what they're doing up there on our behalf.
I'll get a report from the mayor.
And the city manager say we won't vote on it. She's gonna add that to the agenda, future agenda items. Let's do it. We've been doing it anyway. Can I get a second on that? I did bring it up.
Second.
Okay. Second. Call for question. Hearing none. Ready for a vote. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Bab,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner McPherson,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Calvin Williams.
Yes.
And now move to Commissioner McDonough, if you have any future agenda item you'd like to suggest.
Yes, I want to address the fact that we need to consider evaluations for our city manager and our city clerk. If we can, do I need to do two different motions for that? Or,
I think the clerk's is in October. Hers is in October. She was hired in October.
okay.
Second.
It's been moved in second that we do evaluation for our interim city manager and our city clerk.
The vice mayor was just saying that, she was hired in, the clerk was hired in October. Did we do an evaluation in October?
But November was one of them. I know she was hired, it was either October or November she was hired.
So we passed due on that?
No, that was this, no, we're not past due on hers yet. She hasn't been a year in that position, I don't think.
Must be a year until October.
We didn't do an evaluation of her this past,
That's
It
what
won't be a year until October.
It won't be a year
this
yet. She hasn't been in a position in a year.
I've been here a year, so she's been already employed before I got here.
It was July.
It's been more
if
than a
she was
year.
hired in October and it's not been a year yet,
Who was hired?
I don't know how
That's
we
right.
count.
No, this will be the second year. You're right.
Yeah, we passed due.
Y'all was doing the evaluation thing when I first came on about her and the other city manager. Remember y'all was debating about the questions and stuff? When I first came on,
But we never did it. I don't think we ever did
you
it.
know when she was hired.
And the
In
appointment was in
additional
July.
questions.
You're right.
Okay.
But we still need
You
to
ready
do
for a
it.
vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner McPherson,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes,
Vice Mayor Calvin Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Motion passed by unanimous vote.
I don't know if I need to get IT involved or what, but, I have several emails that are unanswered in my inbox. I'm just putting that out there, that I've been waiting for responses on. So,
From IT? Who you waiting on a response from? IT?
no.
Okay.
I think that, that'll be all. I'll just have some comments I want to make
Okay.
later.
Vice Mayor Williams?
Yes, I know we were supposed to close out ARPA in December, and there was an email that came out where they was just saying if, we needed any help with it and making sure that it's closed out and that it's done properly, if that can just be a future agenda item that we can discuss to make sure that we got all our documents and got everything in so that we're in compliance.
What's the motion?
You said with ARPA?
With ARPA, there was an email came out, and they said if it was any assistance we need, so just if we can bring it back to make sure that we have all our documents and we're in compliance with ARPA with the state. They're supposed to be in December.
Second.
Okay. It's been moved in second. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Calvin Williams,
Yes.
Commissioner McPherson,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Motion passed by unanimous vote.
That's it.
Commissioner Scott. Thank you, sir. Next, we have general public comments. Don't have to be an item on the agenda, non-agenda items. City Clerk, do we have any public service comments for completed?
Yes, sir. We have a total of 4. The first one is Ariana.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm just here because I sit and listen to YouTube with my family, and the last time I watched this, I didn't agree with a leader, Mr. Babb, said to a leader that I admire.
Say it again.
I didn't agree with the leader, Mr. Babb said to a leader that I admire. She have given me motivational encouragement to stand here and ask that you respect her and the youth. I'm looking and I know more futures leaders are too. She may not be your first, second, or third choice, but she is my first. Thank you.
Next person is Robert Love.
You heard about? Did you hear that little girl?
Your time started.
What about that? I got 3 minutes. And you finna get some of it. You finna get some of it. You start up there and name all them things that you done so half butt. I ain't gonna say half, cause she gonna say I cuss. That half butt jump what you done. The gym ain't finished working nothing. The gym ain't finished. You got bleachers that y'all took out of there. You go to talk about them apartments over there, they might not never get finished. When y'all sold that property, when you talking about Chandler Williamson went here and you filed out, you went to the OIG on the facility to taking $150,000. Yeah, you done been so good at giving away everything you can here in this Pahokee. Everything what you named up there is half butt. It ain't working right now. Whatever you talk about you done is not working. The road's not working. Everything you done. And then another thing, I want to get to this before I get too far off. I done sat him for I don't know how long since this lady been here. And I done heard you say and her say all the time, oh, you can't make a motion. Do y'all know what it is to make a motion? Do you know you can make a motion anytime? I'm asking you now, Keith. Do you know, I ain't gonna ask her because she gonna tell a lie and say she don't know, I guess, because I can Google it. And when I Google it, say, when can you make a motion, commissioners? Don't y'all keep getting hoodwinked. The last time you was in him and Mike Dunn, and you say, I want to make a motion, he like to jump down your throat. What you making a motion for? You don't have to tell him until you say, till you get a sopping. That's all you need, a sopping. She can't tell you you can't make a motion. At this time, you can make a motion anytime during the commission meeting. I don't know how y'all been getting, I've been getting hoodwinked with that. But I kept on looking and I said, here's something wrong with this picture. Every time it's something that, and then when you make a motion, do you know you're supposed to pass the gavel to the vice mayor? Do you know that? Y'all better read the Robert Rules of Order.
I know the Robert Rules and Order. I don't have to.
You don't know it because you sat up there and make motions and don't pass the gavel. You sat up there and say, oh, you can't make a motion, and you can. So you don't know something, but y'all sit around here and act like y'all know. And then I'm gonna tell y'all both y'all, Mayor and Vice Mayor, y'all ain't showing up for nothing in this community. I seen you sitting up there the other day to the park. Somebody told you got 3 people that you supposed to be doing something for. You ain't told nail commissioner. You ain't had nail sheriff officer there. You ain't had nobody in this community, but you and somebody else standing there behind the camera. I don't know what y'all campaigning. Is y'all campaigning? And don't sit there like you done lost it, cause like I'm telling you, this is nothing that you have done in this community. I'm telling you, I hope YouTube's looking at me. It's nothing he have done that he can stand up there, and act like he done the past 10 years talking about you been the mayor. You've been up there 32 years. You was a commissioner. You can't name nothing you did 22 years before you became a mayor. No, 32 years. I can name more I done in this town than you. And it ain't no fairness. Do you understand that? And like I still say, when y'all had the nerve to talk to Miss Bussy like she was a little puppy last
Thank you, sir. Your time
Next
is
person
up.
is Tamarcus Porter.
I didn't get to that part. You should be ashamed how you talk to that lady.
Sir, your time is up. You're interrupting
Tamarcus
the
Porter.
proceeding now.
First thing I would like to do is actually thank the city attorney for actually giving us some legal advice at the beginning of your little report today. Second thing I would like to do is I'm gonna take a little move out the mayor's book. I'm not pointing the finger at anybody. I'm not blaming anybody. But like my boy just said, the stuff that you talk about got done in the last 10 years is half but, right? And then the second thing is, if it didn't come out your pocket, if you didn't pick up a hammer and go build them things yourself, don't say I did that, because all the commissioners are up there together. Y'all have the same authority. You don't have any more authority than you signed something, you put your name on it, but you didn't build anything. The second thing is, I didn't hear anything about the population rate, the poverty rate. I didn't hear anything for the homeless. I didn't hear anything about the graduation rate or the amount of people we send into college. I don't hear anything about businesses that's been brought here the last 10 years. I haven't heard anything that's really groundwork for a mayor to do. That's what a mayor, like, you were supposed to be the face. You're supposed to be down there and bring this stuff here. That's what you're supposed to. I didn't even say anything, but you're talking about what the county did and what the city did. That's not you, brother. But I'm not pointing the finger at anybody, like you said, like you do, man. Go crazy on my mom. But yeah, so That's what you need to do. Put your foot down. Go get some work done, San Quetta. Like, stop over here just slowing stuff up, but work together. If y'all gonna be who y'all gonna be, at least go be adamant about making the city better. Not just doing stuff to look like you're smart, and you make yourself look dumb. Just to be real. Like, y'all, like you trying to sit here and nitpick, and then you get shut down, and it's terrible, man. Just work together. That's it. Like if y'all gonna be here, do the right thing. That's all I'm asking. Like, stop this rigmarole, all this different. Man, y'all just do the right thing, man. That's it. Just do the right thing. It's easy. It's easy. Read the Bible.
Last comment is Lolita Sobers.
Lolita Kynes. They know me as Kynes with my last name Sobers by marriage, aka Scratch Scratch. But I haven't been scratching lately. I've just been sitting back, watching, looking, listening, and it's ridiculous. The way some of y'all officials, leaders up here, is acting towards Miss Bussey. It's ridiculous. The same thing you just said, I got to say the same thing. If you up here for the city, be for the city. I am sick and tired of 61, I've been here, born and raised for 61 years. The city looking like it's looking. They have a mayor to sit up here and holler about what he did for our city. Out of 32 years, you ain't did nothing. For a vice mayor to sit up here and act the way she act, the way you act towards Miss Bussey. We have several city managers to come through our city, and they haven't done nothing for this city, but stole it dry. Our city look like a third world country, and it's sad. The way our roads are looking, the way the city looking, the buildings, some of them need painting, and we have code enforcement running around here, nitpicking with people that they don't like, and not doing their jobs. It's sad. We need to get together as citizens, as city leaders, and bring our city back to life. It's dead. We live in a third, it's like a third world country. This city is run down, it's torn down, it's raggedy. You can't ride down a good road in this city, and it don't make no sense. For we have city officials that step here these many years and doing nothing. Nothing. Telling people they can't make motions when y'all know they can. Miss Weeks, bam. It's sad. Y'all need to put your personal feelings aside when it come down to our city, because everybody that know me know I'm down for my city. I'm down for this city. I'll rock and roll with it. But I'm not down for the way y'all up here acting towards Miss Bussey. This lady up here trying to make something happen for our city. Y'all see it, just like I see it, but y'all don't want to see it. Y'all need to do better. In order for our city to move forward, please, I'm begging. Y'all just get together and work together. Stop having animosity and being mad about this and mad about that. Come on, we got somebody up here that want to see our city move forward. This lady doing all she can with the little money that Chamber left us to work with to build our city up. She can't build it up. This lady came up in here with no file cabinets in the dang old office. The man ain't even had a file cabinet in there. Sad. Pitiful. And I'm Lord Jesus, give me strength. But I'm gonna stand calm and I'm staying cool. Y'all need to do better. Miss Bussey, I applaud you for the things that you are doing in our city. You have people that's willing to work with you to bring funding to our city to make it work. Y'all have a great day.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I want to, as I said I would do at the last meeting, I want to just correct things just for the record. There was a statement that motions can be made at any time. Under your rules, motions cannot be made at any time. You do have something specifically called future agenda items on your agenda. At the last meeting, it was not my intent, and I don't think it was yours, I can't speak for you, to stop Commissioner McDonald from speaking. She said at about when I looked at this earlier today, about the 41-minute mark, you asked her if it was a future agenda item and if it was about a future agenda item. She said no. And after that, there was discussion about whether a motion could be made. A motion could not have been made then. Robert's Rules does is superseded when you have your own rules of procedure. And that's what cities are allowed to do pursuant to Florida statutes and pursuant to your own charter. And so there is this statement that was made from a couple of residents that motions could be made at any time is absolutely inaccurate when you have your own rules that supersede Robert's rules. So I just want to put that on the record for whatever it's worth. So if anybody's watching, I don't want people to be left with thinking that we were doing something improper. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, may I ask the attorney a question, please? For my record, Ms. Weeks, when the public speaks, are any of us supposed to respond to their comments?
I think I wrote that or I told you there is it's not on any of us, but I think I told you there is a provision in the code at the last meeting, and I cited it, where I am allowed to speak with at the pleasure of the mayor during the meeting. So this is during the meeting, and yes, I can speak.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Love, you're out of order, sir. It's not your time to talk anymore. We'll now move to comments concerned for the good of the order of the City Commission. And I'll start this time with Mr. Scott, Commissioner Scott, if he had anything.
Well, I'd just like to thank everyone for coming out, and seemed like we had a nice meeting. Move on. I'm done.
Thank you. Vice Mayor.
Good evening, everyone. I would just like to say that on yesterday, Florida League of Cities sent out a lot of different workshops that we can go to, and I attended the one yesterday, and I attended one today as well. But the one I found really interesting was the one on the environmental funding strategies and opportunities for Florida cities, and they had a lot of good information. I lost my notes, but they were talking about the different grants that are out there that's available that municipalities can apply for. And one of the big points that they were talking about the resilience grant, and they were saying, like, if there are some big projects that you want to do, the resilience grant will help you organize to get ready before you can submit that grant for the big dollars. And so also they were talking about the governor, the Senate, and the House. They have passed their budget, but they don't have specifics on exactly where their priorities are. They gave us a draft of one on a sheet, but they just haven't put it out yet. It was Chris Holly, Leslie on there, and Mr. Van Ho, who were the former agriculturists. And so they let us look to see the comparison of where they want the funding to go for this year. And what was interesting also, they were saying there were some environmental funds in there, like if you want to tie in, like they were talking about like a soccer park. They used that for example. If you wanted a soccer park, they were talking about how you can use those fundings and tie it in to environmental to get a soccer park for your community. So I just thought that would be something good if we can look into and go back and watch the video and look at some of that funding, and maybe that may be some of the funding that we can maybe look at to get some of our projects done. And so, and I just want to thank everyone for coming out tonight, and thanks for a great meeting.
Thank you. Commissioner McDonough.
I had one item that I omitted for a future agenda item. Can I add it at this time? It's pertaining to the issues, the recessions that we had with regards to the garbage pickup. We still have quite a few. I don't know if you had the Public Works Department to do a survey of the town to see how many are still in need of filling.
Okay, I'll take care.
Also, I wanted to
Did
say.
you want to vote on that? Like you'll need a second and then you vote on it for the future agenda item, you said?
Did you want to put that on?
Yeah, we can do the vote. Yeah.
What is the request for the future agenda item that you?
To follow up regarding the recessions that were created by the sanitation department to ensure that they have all been filled.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott, I'm sorry, Commissioner McPherson,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Calvin Williams,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Motion passed by unanimous vote.
Miss Boulay and I went on a field trip last week, and we were looking at a project that was done, and I believe that it would be a good thing to transplant that here in Pahokee. I'm gonna let her give a little bit more background on it, but I also wanted to mention that for those of you that are voters, make sure that your driver's licenses and your voter registration cards are up to date, so that, and do it now so that you can avoid any issues that might arise with regards to your ability to vote in the coming election. And please don't stay home in the midterm election. We need you all to get out and vote during that election as well. And also, being that this is Women History Month, I was working with the Everglades Preparatory Academy to get a couple of students to come up and do some presentations on women in history. And we're still working on it, so we'll pass that to the next meeting. And also, we want to identify some individuals from the community as well that can be recognized. I think Mayor Babb said Ms. Biggs was one of the ones that we could recognize. So just to let you all know, if you have any suggestions, we'll be happy to entertain your input as well with regards to that. So we're definitely of the mind that we want to progress Pahokee. Some of the things that we're doing too is to look at what we can do to get a marina manager to come in and revive that area, and to also stir up the revenue that we know that that place can generate. So at this time, I'm going to ask Ms. Boulay if she will come forward and give us some information on the transplant project that we have been looking at.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Mayor and Commission, community members. So again, my name is Peggy Boulay Washington. I'm the Director of Community and Economic Development for the city. Through the direction of my city manager, my interim city manager, I was able to take a field trip to the city of Boynton. We met with the city of Boynton CRA grant manager at the site of one of their developments that we were looking at transplanting and bringing a smaller scale development into our city. We have some would say we're landlocked, but I think if we look at some creative middle housing, we may be able to achieve many of our endeavors for housing in the city. And so I wanted us to take a look, physically look at these projects and see that these projects are possible and that they can come to life here in the city. I've created concepts for these projects through other initiatives along with other cities that I've worked with along with this city. The project that Commissioner McDonald is referring to is called the Heart of Boynton. And so we were looking at creating the Heart of Pahokee here. And this project has about 3 parcels or so. It's a mixed-use project. There's a housing component to it. And then the mixed-use portion of it, the commercial portion of it, is community-related commercial businesses. And so just a couple of the businesses that we could name were showcased to us were doctor's offices, urgent cares, law offices, and then there's 2 restaurant components to it that were required within the project scope. And so 2 of the restaurants are big community-based restaurants, things that we know our community would frequent, as well as visitors and tourists alike. Now, with these projects, we've also spoken with their staff and asked several questions in terms of how did they achieve these projects, right? Most of us, we think that these projects can only be achieved through what's in your budget. And we all know that we are fiscally constrained. We have a tight budget. We are considered a small city, a rural city. However, the city of Boynton is far bigger, has a larger budget. However, they were able to accomplish this project through funding initiatives with to include partnerships. Those partnerships were county-related, state-related, public, private, you name it. They put out the RFPs, RFIs, they put out all those different requests for information, requests for funding, requests for vendors, contractors, you name it, and they were able to accomplish this endeavor. I think we as the city, if we put our heads together and we approach development in a creative and cohesive manner, I believe we can accomplish this project here in the city of Pahokee, as well as many more projects like it here in the Glades. Any questions?
Were you able to speak with them regarding the marina?
So we're supposed to be getting some information from them, and what Commissioner McDonald is referring to, we've been exploring some possibilities with marina management, as well as marina management from 2 aspects of looking at it. 1, managing the marina as a whole, and 2, the restaurant management component of it. And so we've been exploring what options are there for the city, cost-effective options, of course, but effective options overall that we could manage the marina and start kicking in some revenue into the city. And I also wanted to note that the county is aware through our city manager the endeavors that we are trying to accomplish here in the city in terms of infrastructure, in terms of development, in all of the critical needs that the city has. And the county has been more than accommodating and amenable to us. So this project is a project that we will be discussing with them at length so that we can explore other funding opportunities as well.
Okay, we're also, what part of that is too, we're looking at hopefully going ahead and establishing our very own CRA. So we're going to be definitely taking some steps to try to see how we can progress with that.
And to Commissioner McDonald's point, I know that has been a conversation even prior to my previous tenure here with the city, that the city has explored bringing a CRA into the city. However, during that time, I believe legislation prevented us from starting a new CRA. We were informed by a CRA director who is also an instructor for CRA certification courses that there is some legislation that will allow us to start a new CRA. However, it will sunset when all CRAs sunset, which is about 20 years or so from now.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Boulay.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Lastly, that reminded me that
Great job.
with regards to the Parker building, city manager, can you give us an update on that?
Yes, I didn't bring my notes from speaking with Mr. Wren the other day, but I did have a meeting with our Palm Beach County Housing Economic Development Group, Ms. Tammy Fields and her group with Jonathan Brown. As far as I'll do our Adams Place residents, the ones that were displaced and placed in shelters and everything. Still working with those who are receptive to service. Some of them are refusing, but most of them are accepting the assistance. But what we've done with that is the building has been red tagged because it is unsafe. It has a no trespassing on that sign, and we've asked that when people see the loiters or squatters, or I won't say residents because shouldn't be living there, that they can call PBSO if needed. We have sent a notice to the owner to notify him that, he needs to respond and move forward on taking care of the liens. And if not, we, with the building inspector, and we had a meeting with the attorney on the phone with us. And so we're just trying to move forward with the foreclosure, on those properties owned by him. And then with the Parker building ones, it's the same owner, so we're looking to move forward with that as well. And just, with you bringing that up, I have been having several Zoom calls with different opportunities and with county organizations who want to come in. And they have asked me to provide them with a list of the deplorable buildings, all of them. And they want to help us find funding to start demolishing these buildings and holding these owners accountable. So we're working on that and not backing down because they've gotten away with it too long to do our residents like they're doing them, to charge them and they don't even have power or water. So we are on the move with that. And we have the building enforcer, he's working closely with us as well. So we're on the move with those things.
So I just want to comment for the record, I don't know about moving on foreclosures. So I was on a call with the manager and on a specific issue, but it had nothing to do with foreclosures. So I just want to be clear.
You love to correct when I say something. Let me just say this. When we talked about the process with Ms. Palanca, she said once the steps are made with notifying the owner and they don't respond, and the building is ignored and unsafe, we can move with foreclosure proceedings. I didn't say we were in foreclosure yet. She said that that's the process when it gets there, and hopefully our attorney will proceed whatever needs to be done. But that's all I know is where we are now. And in speaking to Ms. Palanca, she stated the next, whether it can eventually get to foreclosure, is the step.
And and that could be correct, but I just want to let you all know that any litigation that would be pursued would be brought by me to the city commission to approve that. So there I am not moving on any foreclosures because people get real nervous about that when you hear that. And so I just wanted to, and I'm not trying to, I just want to make that point clear.
No, I understand that, and that's what I was just trying to do, and maybe a little bit too much,
but respectfully.
I got you. So just explain that we are moving forward, whatever steps we have to hold the owners responsible and to get the building safe or torn down. So that's pretty much
it is
my
such an
report.
eyesore when you ride past there.
They
So
are.
we just definitely need to stay on top of it and make sure that we're making some progress in that regard.
Yes, I
Thank
am
you.
certainly going to.
Madam President, I forgot to mention, since Commissioner McDonald talked about housing, on April 25th, Delta is having the housing event over at the Eddie Lee Rose Gym from 10 to 3. And so there will be a lot of different organizations there that's also going to be talking with the residents and the city in regards to different partnerships, I guess, that can be done, that have been done in other cities, and residents that's wanting to, maybe they have some property and want to develop their property. So there are going to be a lot of vendors there on April 25th from 10 to 3 at the Eddie Lee Rose Gym. And it is a housing event.
Great. My comments, I would like to thank all our residents for being here today for our city commission meeting. And I would like to just emphasize, I believe that Pahokee will and continue to be a city of progress. And those items that I listed, I think I was part of every single one of them. And also, I believe, in the last 10 years, I'm one of the best, if not the best mayor for this city. I was elected in 2016, re-elected again in 2019, re-elected again in 2000. You're out of order, sir.
You talking to me?
No, I'm not talking to you.
You looking straight at me talking to her and tell me.
I'm not talking to you. You're out of order.
I'm out of order.
And again in 2025. So we're city building a city and community of choice for living, working, and business development. My goals, hopefully, during these next 2 years, working with this commission, just a few that I have that I hope we pursue and continue to pursue, is building a community swimming pool for our youth. We sit right on the lake, and our children don't have a pool within our city to swim in. We continue to have, during the summer, kids coming up to the campground swimming pool illegally. So we want to get them something to be able to do. Also, I'd like to see us build a new city hall. This building here is a historic building. That's the site that we have planned at some point in the future to have a new city hall. Also, I'd like to see our roads and streets, our infrastructure improved. I mentioned the fact that during the 10-year period, at one point, we did complete at least 60%. But we do have a lot of work to do, and I believe that if we work together, we can get it done. Secondly, I would like to see us pursue again a hotel and a luxury spa here in Pahokee. And lastly, to include a parking garage, not only for the hotel, but for community residents to be able to park their cars if needed. That's my goal, that's my desire. I think I'm the best, and that's my story, and I'm gonna stick with it and to it. Commissioner McPherson.
Yes, good evening, fellow citizens and commission. I just want to give you an update on our Parks and Rec Advisory Board. Their next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, April the 7th, 2026 at 4 p.m. As a matter of fact, they went ahead, that particular board decided in order to get the project that the commission had assigned them, which that project is that the commission had requested that the board develop a plan for improvements and repairs at MLK Park. They did, their last meeting was on March the 3rd. And again, their next meeting is scheduled for April the 7th, and they agreed to meet the first Tuesday of every month at 4 p.m. Just to give you some updates of what they had talked about. And this project includes MLK Park and Glade Citizen Village Park improvements. In accordance to Section 2.162 of the City of Pahokee Code of Ordinance, the City Commission requested that the board develop a plan for improvement and repairs at MLK and Glade Citizen Village Park. The board last meeting, they discussed beautification efforts, including stripping, painting, and repairs, and identification of funding for any necessary civil work. When I say civil work, one of the biggest problems that we have out there is the flooding when it rains. We got to try to find a way to address that, and that's up for discussion. And they're going to be pursuing different things that could. The plan has not been developed, but we would encourage you to come out to those meetings. But once they develop the plan, the commission had directed them to get a plan together, and once they get their plan together, then it'll come back before the commission for us to try to implement that plan and find the necessary funding to do the necessary improvements. And again, I want to thank everybody for just coming out, and I encourage all the citizens to come out and participate in the meeting. One last thing, I think, just want to get a follow-up with the city commission, with the city manager about I think we had interviews for the finance director and the contract, not the contract, but the RFP for the IT position. Where are we on those updates?
Okay, as far as the contract with the RFP on IT, Ms. Driver is currently working on that, and I'll get an update from her on that. I know she's working on it. She's been, dealing with various obstacles, but I'll have to get an update from her on that. I wasn't prepared to answer that tonight.
You want me to answer?
Yes.
So the RFP will be advertised for March 13th
Okay.
and March 20th. So that will be going online this Friday. It has already been sent to the news, Palm Beach Post, and it's going to be posted on Demand Star. So there will be a link on the website for them to click and then review the details, okay?
And
The finance director.
Okay, and for the finance director position, it was advertised, it was placed out on the website, Ms. Clark, and as well as, what's the other?
So there's a link on the website. Ms. Prince handles the free resource through the Florida League of Cities. It's Florida City Jobs. So all the jobs are posted on that website.
Okay.
So I'm not sure, that's the only information that I have. I don't know
Gotcha,
anything
okay.
else.
So no, that's fine. I just want to make sure that, it was noted that it was posted. We had 2 applicants to apply for them. We had the interviews last week, and of the 2 applicants, we did select someone, and she'll be starting on March 30th. And I'm, happy to announce out of the 2 applicants that applied, she'll be coming before the commission, but the person for the finance director position is Tamara Dadio.
And briefly, if you could, do you have any update on the marina restaurant vendor RFP and having any conversation with Brad Pitt to see if, Brad Richardson, I'm sorry, to see if he have any input in how we can go about putting that out? Because we really, that's a money resource for the city. If we can get a vendor, not only is it a money resource, it provides a service for the community. So
Yes.
that's something, I know your hands are
Oh, yes.
really feel.
No,
but
that's
something
no,
hopefully be
I
up
appreciate
there.
that, Mary. No, you're absolutely right. And that's why it's important to hire a great team to work with you, because I want to manage. I don't want to do it all. So I have a great community economic development person that I put on that. And so we'll have her come back up because I definitely gave her the list of things and she's definitely on it. So we had the conversation, but she kept the notes.
Yes, hi, hello everyone again. We did have a great conversation with Mr. Brad Richardson, who is the bureau chief for that division of land. And per the direction of the commission and advice through our city attorney, we did seek guidance from Mr. Richardson and his department/division. And he did share that the 3 things that we requested permission for, and I believe our manager did expound upon that earlier in her report, which was the use of the marina for the restaurant, 2, the use of the marina for the algae recycle grant, which is through FEP, by the way, and the 3rd was the use of the marina for Blue Rock, a red cap company. All of which he did say that he did not see an issue with us leasing or using the marina for those services. And in terms of your RFP comment or question, as long as the city follows whatever procurement guidelines are set forth by our city, we should not have any issue. And when in doubt, the door is open, and we were encouraged to speak with him.
Thank you. City Commission having all business brought before us taken care of, I would entertain a motion for the adjournment of this meeting.
I have one more thing, man. I also had a citizen to reach out to me about, I guess they were trying to start a T-ball, and they requested permission to use the field at MLK Park and I guess they were told that the field was unusable. And I don't know, I may have to wait till the next meeting to put it out, because we need to find out, what's the issues and try to do necessary repairs to sow the field. They just want to practice T-ball.
Right. And I can address that for you, Mr. McPherson, because I would definitely want to, have you all involved. We have had a nonprofit organization reach out about T-ball. She met with the Parks and Recreation directors, and they were a little concerned about the field, being unsafe. So I did express that they were not trying to play a game. They only want to practice. They would play, at the county field. So I got with Mr. Williams, and he stated his concern. But we went out to have PBSO come, and PBSO, said as far as they're concerned, it's not really much for them to do, as long as we're looking at the insurance that the nonprofit would have, which would protect the city, and then also had the fire department come out. So those, it is being discussed, but nothing final has come out, because I am all for having something in Pahokee, and what we just want to make sure that, we're protected. So she has the nonprofit has the insurance for the organization, which would have the city as a second insured, and then also the parents, they would do a release of liability as well.
Okay.
So I think that the nonprofit has the proper paperwork. We just have to make sure that we get the signatures to protect the city.
Okay. I guess my concern is,
on that
you
issue.
were saying that the field was unsafe. I just want to make sure that we do everything that we need to do to make sure that that's covered.
And that's why we have a move
When the
forward
citizen
on
did
it.
reach out to me, I went out myself and took a look at the field. They are some
Lumps and lumps, yes.
Yeah, some
Right.
lumps, and I went and took a personal walk myself.
Right. So yes, that's why we have a move forward, because they did approach the Parks and Recreation as well.
And I have a question on that. If we're saying that it's unsafe, we're saying it here live, if the residents are out there and if something happens, will we be liable for that, since we're saying that it's unsafe?
That's why we want to address it and fix it.
No, I'm asking now, because we don't have anything out there now. I'm just talking about with the residents just going out there in general.
Mr. Mayor, may I? What I propose is that there is a field usage agreement, which the city has used before. So if you decide that, and the manager, once she does her due diligence about the safety of it and has, the proper persons go out, whether they're professionals that might have technical skills, engineers or whatever, have them go out, take a look at it and make sure it is suitable, then bring it before the commission as a resolution, which has attached to it a field use agreement. Okay. So it might limit the hours or the days, or tell you when you can play, or what parts, or whether concessions can be used, or what bathrooms are usable, or do they have to get their own porta potties. You will have all of those things outlined in the field use agreement, and so that's what you want to do. And also, it sounds like you've already spoken with your insurance carrier.
No, the nonprofit says she has her insurance. It hasn't gotten that far for us yet.
Okay, so we definitely want to speak with our own insurance carrier.
Right, okay.
And they may want to do their own due diligence to make sure that they will cover the city in the event something happens.
Okay, yeah, we haven't got that.
And I guess my goal, all of our parks are considered public parks, so if somebody just want to go out there and have a sandlot game, they should be usable as far as, the condition of them. So my concern is just to make sure that we get everything, whatever needs to be done to get the field leveled and stuff. I'm sorry, you want to address that, Ms. Boulay? I see you keep raising your hand. Can I ask her to address it?
I don't think she was. Go.
She's just.
I was signaling the manager. My apologies. I was just saying that the Commissioner Calvin Williams made reference to the environmental fund. So looking forward, that can be an opportunity where through my manager we can collaborate on seeking some funding to go ahead and level those fields. We've also been seeking funding to redevelop that field, and that's also a legislative priority as well, and has been a legislative priority as well. So hopefully we'll have some funding mechanisms to get those funds together.
Thank you.
Are there a motion to adjourn?
I move that we end the meeting.
Second.
It has been moved in second. Call for question. Hearing none. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Calvin Williams. Vice Mayor Calvin Williams.
Yes.
Commissioner McPherson.
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald.
Yes.
Commissioner Scott.
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Motion adjourned. 8:27 p.m.